All right, I'll go ahead and just let everybody in now.
Okay.
Guys, good morning, guys.
Morning.
We are in Seattle, beautiful Seattle.
Nice.
It rained a little bit yesterday, but it's kind of clearing up today. What's the weather doing there?
Today's not bad. Yesterday it was a little drizzly, but then kind of cleared up towards the afternoon.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
so Eric, do you want to go ahead and let everybody in, and I'll just kind of introduce Chris, and we'll
Yes, sir.
rock
Yep.
and roll.
I actually let everybody in, so I'll go ahead and start the live stream now, and then you can go ahead and.
Awesome.
Cool. All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. What day is it today, Matt?
Friday, Freedom Friday.
Freedom Friday. I think it's the 13th or
10th.
10th, Friday the 10th. Matthew and I, we are in beautiful Seattle, Washington, and we are onboarding 150 agent brokerage. So we're super excited. I'm also super excited that we have the man, the legend, the myth, Chris Baquail, to share more KvCore nuggets, hacks, and secrets backed by popular demand. So, Chris, I'll let you go ahead and take it from there. Good morning. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing good. Thanks, Tom.
If you could,
share my screen here real quick.
good. Share a little bit about yourself and then go from there.
Yeah. So my backstory is for the past 3 years prior to coming on board with Tom, I was helping onboard agents and assisting them getting going with KvCore, not only just implementing it into their business, but also the lead generation side and how to utilize it to the maximum to be able to follow up and nurture those leads. Then in May, signed on with Tom. I'm now the marketing director of and lead generation director for Tom Dave's team. And today I was going to talk about kind of getting set up with KvCore. The last class that I was doing on a Freedom Friday kind of talked about lead generation, which I know is a hot button for everybody, or a hot point. Everyone wants to understand how to lead generate. But I think it's important also to kind of circle back to the basics and understand what needs to be in place in order to kind of utilize KvCore. And I think, let me pop up my screen here. All right. So this is kind of a presentation that will introduce KvCore to you, but also 6 important steps you need to take to get started with KvCore. And I created this presentation a while back, but as EXP agents, we get access to KvCore, which is, and most agents understand that it's a top tier website tool to utilize for your business. But a lot of agents don't understand how to use it or what's even included in it. So I always like to break it down on what KvCore does for you. It's a website, it's a CRM, it connects to your MLS with an IDX feed. It has a smart number that's unique to you that will forward any calls or texts to you. It has landing pages and squeeze pages for lead generation. There's a little bit of AI follow-up, basically behavioral type follow-up based upon an action that somebody takes on your website. KvCore will send a specific message out based upon that action. There's also a dialer. There's 2 apps. There's one for a consumer. There's one for an agent. You can keep track of your business metrics, how your lead sources are doing. So there's a lot included in KvCore. And I always like to bring this up because many times, and a lot of agents I've worked with in the past will already have some of these tools in place, and they can cut that out and not have the redundancy and just utilize KvCore and streamline their processes. So I always kind of like to start out there so you have a full understanding of what it does. The previous version of KvCore was really just a stripped down version where it was just a CRM and some lead generation tools, some follow-up campaigns that could nurture those leads for you. But when they came out with KvCore, they included all this to make it kind of like a one-stop shop for you as an agent to be able to run your business more effectively. And I also like to point out there's some training resources. From my understanding, we're going to do some more KvCore trainings on Freedom Fridays or different classes for you guys in the Atomic Habits group. But I always like to point out, you do have the support training tab on the left-hand side. They do have the Agent Quick Start Guide that you can access through KvCore. And then if you ever need technical support, there's the chat box down at the bottom right corner, and you can start a conversation with their tech support if you ever run into any issues. Another resource that was really vital to me in understanding KvCore when I first kind of started working with it was YouTube. If you go to YouTube and you search Inside Real Estate, they have all the videos, not only just about training and understanding KvCore, but also their head trainers will walk you through some of the advertisements that they're doing, their results, and those types of things. So it's a really good resource to have or to visit to get a better understanding of what KvCore can do for you. And a couple of Facebook groups that I would recommend that you join, and we'll make sure that you have this slide deck after the presentation. It'll be posted in the Atomic Habits group. But KvCore Owner and Admin Mastermind, and then the Inside Real Estate Success Strategies. This is just something that's going to pop up in your feed when people are posting about KvCore, you know, the ads that they're doing and what their results are, best practices. So it's just something that will pop up in your news feed. I would recommend trying to join these groups on Facebook, okay? And a couple misconceptions for you newer agents or agents that aren't really using KvCore. I've worked with a lot of agents that have the assumption that they are going to generate, that KvCore does the lead generation for you, and that's not correct. You do need to be proactive. You need to figure out ways to drive traffic to your website or lead generate somehow. So KvCore will not generate leads for you automatically. Now, there are a couple different resources that you can take advantage of, whether it be Making It Rain, which is the EXP branded lead generation source that's available in the marketplace at KvCore. And then KvCore also has a lead generation service that will generate leads for you, exclusive leads, and direct them right into your KvCore CRM. Another one that I hear a lot is EXP is going to send you leads. Now, that can definitely happen and has happened in the past, but I wouldn't base that your business on that, because it's not going to be consistent and constant. Also, there's so much setup to do. There's not really, and I'm going to walk you through the 6 steps that I will always recommend that you do to get everything in place. And for those of you that don't have login information, you do need to request an account to be set up for you in EXP Enterprise. So if you go into EXP Enterprise, if you don't have your login information, you've never logged into KvCore, go into EXP Enterprise. On the left-hand side, you're going to see a tab that says Optional Services. Click on that, and the first option is going to be KvCore. You'll just need to request an account. It'll take about a day to get your login information. So for those of you that don't have login information, just log into EXP Enterprise, okay? So getting started with KvCore, the number one thing that you need to do if you haven't done so already is build your profile. And there's a couple reasons I say this. One being is it's going to populate throughout your website in specific places. So phone number and email address and bio and those types of things are going to populate throughout your website. So if you don't build your profile, it's not going to be included. But the other reason is it's going to also include your signature. And so when emails are being sent out by KvCore, that information is going to be included in that email that's being sent out. So to do that, just go to the top right corner, click on your email address, and then select My Profile. That's going to take you to this page. You'll need to click on Edit Profile, and just fill in all of this information here. Your contact information, all your social media links. And what your social media links are going to do is create little icons in the top right corner of your website that's going to allow consumers to connect with you on those different social media platforms. It'll also allow you to post to those social media platforms as well. So fill this out. If you don't have some of those links, that's fine, but fill it out as completely as you can. And then down at the bottom, make sure that you include your bio and your email signature, because this is going to be included on all the emails that are being sent out, okay? So that's going to give their contact information. So step number 1, build your profile. Fairly simple to do. Number 2 would be sync your email. And to do that, you're just going to click on the little envelope icon in the top right corner and sync it to either your Gmail account or if you have an Outlook account. And the reason why this is important is if you don't sync your email, you can send emails to contacts, but they won't be visible within the contact records timeline, which is important because one of the benefits of KvCore is that if you're sending emails or sending texts or making calls through the system, it's going to log all of that information in that contact records activity stream. So you can have a running list of all the communications back and forth to any contact at any given time. So now if you don't connect your email to your KvCore account, you won't have that there, okay? It also has the ability to sync with your Google Calendar. So if you're scheduling calls or scheduling appointments, then you use the Google Calendar that you can sync it to your calendar so you have that visible on your Google Calendar. And it'll also sync with your contacts within your Gmail account or your Outlook account. So a few benefits there to sync your email account. Just click on the envelope up in the top right corner, click on either one of these options, log in, and you can sync your email, okay? And then number 3 is to connect Zillow, Realtor.com, or any other lead sources that you have. Now, anytime you're working with a CRM, it's important to have all of your leads in one place, right? It just helps streamline it so that you don't have inconsistencies throughout multiple different databases. So if you are, even if you're not paying for Zillow, Realtor.com, and you just have a free profile set up, I would recommend that you take this email that you see here, and to get to it is under the Lead Engine tab and Lead Dropbox. It's in the top right corner. And take this email, and it asked you where you want to send the lead notifications to, include this email there. And then what that's going to do is it's going to bring that lead directly into your KvCore CRM. So one benefit is, again, you're streamlining the process, no inconsistencies. You're not having to take that lead from your, let's just say your Gmail account, and then manually input it into your KvCore CRM, okay? And the same thing with Zillow. There's a Zillow Tech Connect code unique to you that you'll see down here at the bottom. You copy that, you go through the steps, and you can have any leads or any contacts that are generated from Zillow, Realtor.com, or any other lead source that you have directly into your KvCore CRM, okay? And from there, then you can utilize KvCore's follow-up campaigns to be able to start communicating with them or nurture them. So if, let's just say you're out in the field and you have any lead come in, you can have automatically a drip campaign set up so a text message is going to go out to them immediately saying, hey, I just got your information. I'll follow up with you shortly. Okay. So you have something in place. You have a follow-up system in place. And there are some drip campaigns, some follow-up campaigns in KvCore. They're already pre-written for you that I'll talk about in just a second that you can utilize. Now, number 4 is forwarding your domain. So most of us probably have some type of domain name that you purchased, that whether through GoDaddy or Bluehost or Namecheap, whatever domain source that you purchased that through. And you want to use that on your business card or a postcard that you're doing or whatever it may be. You want to go into log into there and forward that to your subdomain URL that's provided to you by KvCore. And so with EXP, it's your first and last name .exprealty.com. This is a fairly simple process for just a forwarding. You just need to log into wherever you purchased that domain and select forwarding, and then tell, basically what you're doing here is anybody that types this domain in, I'm telling GoDaddy to go to this website. Okay, so it's a simple forwarding. EXP also will do this for you, a full forwarding over and change name servers, but you do have to request that through EXP support. But if you wanted to get this in place now, so if you still have marketing in place that you're using a domain name and you want it to go to your KvCore, it's a fairly simple process that you can do within a few minutes within wherever you purchased that domain, okay? So forwarding your domain is important. If you don't have a domain, go to GoDaddy. You can purchase one for $14.99 for a year. And then step 5 is import your existing database. So if you have any type of existing database, if you're new and you want to compile a list of contacts or your family and friends, I'd recommend doing that. You do have the ability to bulk import. KvCore does require a specific way that it needs to be formatted, but it's a fairly simple process if you're tech savvy at all. And if you're not tech savvy, you do have the option to be able to provide this digital file to KvCore. They'll format it for you and they'll import it into there. So this even goes with contacts that you have from a different database that maybe they're active buyers that are looking in specific areas. KvCore has the ability to send them new listing alerts, just like your local MLS probably has. And so if you have that search criteria, you can include that in the import file and have that set up automatically so that once they get imported into KvCore, the KvCore recognizes that and starts sending them properties, okay? And then the benefit of that is, if you're not aware, KvCore tracks all the activity that a user has on your website after they logged in. So you can see down to how many times they looked at a property, the exact specific property that they looked at, if they saved it, what device they looked at it on. So there's a lot of different good insight that you're going to get from users being on your website. So again, if you have an existing database, go to Lead Engine. There's going to be a bulk import section that you can either import it yourself or just submit the file to KvCore. Takes maybe a day or so. They'll import it there for you, and then you'll have all your contacts within KvCore. Okay. That's step number 5. Step number 6, activate your smart campaigns. This is something that a lot of agents don't realize that they need to do. There's 22 different, there might be more now, 23 different campaigns, smart campaigns in KvCore that consist of a sequence of text messages and tasks or emails that are being sent out based upon a specific sequence. And you do need to activate them to utilize them. And if you don't, you won't see anything when you're trying to add a drip campaign to the contact. And so how to do that would be to go to Marketing Autopilot, click on the Smart Campaigns tab, and then you're going to see a box up top that says KvCore Library. This is an older screenshot. I think they've added a few different campaigns to here, but these are pre-written for you. You can see over here under the channels, it says text, emails, calls. So it's going to prompt you based upon what they recommend, when to call, when to, follow up with people, when a text message is going to go out, when an email is set up. So they're kind of pre-built campaigns that you can utilize to help you nurture leads and convert leads. But you do need to come in here to Marketing Autopilot, click on KvCore Library, add to your library, and that's going to add it to your own library. Now, once you add it to your own library, you then need to click on Activate. So if you see over here, I've highlighted that. You need to turn it on, otherwise it won't be active within your account. Okay. So just the campaigns range from FSBOs to people that are in your sphere that are homeowners, to expired listings, to new buyers, new sellers. So a lot of different campaigns that you can use that work pretty effectively. Now these can be customized as well. So if you think that you need to add some, or you want to customize some of these, you can absolutely customize the templates to however you want them to read. And you can even change up the sequencing if you wanted to. Okay. So 23, I think there's a total of 23 different smart campaigns that you can utilize. Okay. So I think kind of wanted to open it up for questions. If anybody had any questions. No? Anybody?
So I'm sure this is being recorded. So anyone that wants to review, or if they, this is such great valuable information, Chris, sitting here with Matthew, and we're like, dang, is this being recorded? So we can have access to this in the future. So how do we access this recording in the future for either agents in our organization or new folks?
Yeah, go ahead.
Now you can view this this video in its entirety on Tom's Facebook page, and if you would like it, just shoot me an email at eric@tomdavesteam.com, and I can send you the link to the recording as well.
And this will be on Atomic Habits as well?
I'm going to share it to Atomic Habits, yeah.
Okay, so, well, awesome. Any questions, anyone?
Yeah, it looked like Frankie had just chimed in saying, could you hit, kind of touch a little bit more on the, I think it was the Lead Dropbox or something.
Yeah, absolutely. So what the Lead Dropbox is really to kind of streamline your lead sources. So again, if you go into Lead Engine and you click on the Dropboxes, then this screenshot's a little bit older. You're going to see it on your screen in the top right corner. It's going to say Lead Dropbox in the top right corner. It's just a hyperlink. It's going to take you to a page that looks like this. You have this email here that you can include on any lead sources, particularly realtor.com. You have the option to have a primary email address where you'd want to receive your lead notifications, but you also, in many cases with different lead sources, have another option to include an email address to be notified. And basically what this does is, if somebody submits their information from seeing you on realtor.com, or if you're paying for leads through realtor.com, it will take their name, phone number, email address, and bring it right into KvCore, into your smart CRM. You get notified. And then, like I said, you can also utilize some of those smart campaigns to be able to follow up with them. You can create a specific drip campaign that is focused on just your realtor.com leads or your Zillow leads. And so that's basically what this email is. The Zapier key is a little bit different. I use that, and a lot of agents will use that to bridge the gap between a Facebook lead generation ad, which I haven't really talked about yet, to get the information from Facebook over to your KvCore CRM. So you'd use your Zapier key there. And then your Zillow key is your Zillow Tech Connect. So if you're doing anything on Zillow, if you're paying for leads and you want them to go directly into your KvCore CRM, you would just follow the steps. You can YouTube it to connect your Zillow Tech Connect. And that's your unique Zillow Tech Connect ID. Okay. So it's really just a way to bring in all of your leads into your KvCore CRM, which is what you should be doing if you're going to use KvCore as your primary CRM or your sole CRM. Just have all your leads in one spot.
So here's a question for you. I know, so my operations manager, Kimberly, has set us up where there's monthly market reports based on zip code. I don't fully understand it. She's got it running for us. And it's come back with some come list me phone calls, which is always fun, right? So can you touch on that a little bit? We do it monthly. Is it automated? Does she have to hit the button every month?
Yeah.
Maybe that's something you could touch on.
Yeah. So are you still seeing my screen here in KvCore?
Not currently.
Okay, hold on one second.
Yeah, it's up there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, absolutely. And that's something that I want to do in an upcoming class is talk about some of the follow-up tools that you have available through KvCore. And one of them, what you're referring to, Matthew, is the market reports. And so on each contact record that you have the ability to set up market reports based upon a neighborhood or a city or a zip code, like you were saying. And to do that, it's basically going to give them, the active listings in an email based upon how frequently you want it sent. So you can do it on a, weekly basis, which I don't know how frequent or, how much that's going to change, but every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, or every month, like you were suggesting. Basically, you just type in the zip code and select it from the drop down. And then that's a set it and forget it process. KvCore is going to kind of take the wheel on that. And each month or each 28 days, it's going to send them updated information about the specific market that they're interested in. So yeah, absolutely. Or it can be city specific, or it can be county specific, or it can be neighborhood specific. So absolutely, I would suggest utilizing that. You also have the ability to run a seller report. So if you have any listings out there, you can just plug in the MLS ID, and it'll send your sellers a report on how many views that the property's had, not only on your site, but brokerage wide. So that's something that you can provide to your sellers to show that it's getting views in the event that you might need a price reduction or something, would be a scenario. But yeah, a lot of different tools. Go ahead.
What would be, with your knowledge, what would be the number one thing you would implement within KvCore that would generate a listing for someone that just transferred over, where they're like, okay, I want to get something up in my portfolio, get up and running here with EXP. I want to utilize KvCore.
Yeah.
What would be your suggestion?
Yeah, I mean, they make it real easy. So that, like I kind of said at the beginning of it, there's some marketing tools that you can utilize within KvCore. So building a squeeze page would be something that you could do today at really no cost to you, that you could post to your social media to try to get, a listing out of it. So when you click on Lead Engine, you have 4 different options up here. One would be a seller squeeze page. And you can just build that squeeze page. What it's going to do is going to kick out a link to you. You'll copy that link, post it directly to, let's just say, your Facebook. It's going to auto-populate an image of a house with a question mark. And then you can write in the comments or the post, interested in what your home could sell for in today's market. And then that link is going to direct them to your website, to the sell page on your website, so they can get an online instant value of their home directly on your website. It'll take them to this page. We have our setup a little bit different, but through KvCore, actually, I'm sorry, yeah, this is how it is. So they'll enter in their address, and you'll start to generate a seller lead through KvCore.
Okay. And then you can also drill that down, if I'm not mistaken, with that landing page you create, that it could be a specific subdivision. Let's say I'm farming I don't know, Wexford, as an example, in Granite Bay, I can target people that would be in tune with Wexford by saying, want to know what your Wexford home is worth? Is that right?
Yeah, you can build a landing page specific to that. So this is an IDX squeeze page, but you can also do market reports on that. So if it was Wexford, you can say, hey, do you want a market report in the Wexford area? And generate that link and do the same thing. But yeah, absolutely. A landing page is a little bit different. Landing pages we talked about the last time I was on, it's just a standalone single kind of page that you're having people opt into. But yeah, you can customize that to any specific niche or area that you want to target market to. Now, you can do that for free and post it to your social media. You're probably going to get a limited amount of response just because the people that are friends with you on Facebook or social media should know that you're in real estate and should reach out to you if they're wanting to buy or sell. But you can boost that post for a reasonable amount of money. You know, you post it to your business page, maybe spend $10, $50, $5 a day, whatever's manageable to you to get outside of that initial reach or your organic reach to be able to reach more people. And then through that, in the boosting or creating an actual ad, if you wanted to take it a step above boosting a post, you can then target specific areas. Now with Facebook specifically, you have to have a radius around it. It's going to only be a city specific. So you can't get as fine tuned as, you know, Wexford, let's say, but you can do a specific area that you want to target. So just some ideas there that you can do to generate some leads. Any other questions?
Well, cool. Well, great. Hey, Chris, thank you so much. Now,
This is awesome.
happy Friday, everyone. Have a great weekend. Next week, we will have our Wednesday Atomic Habits, but of course, is next week Christmas? No,
we have
I'm
one
sorry.
more.
Next week, I'm sorry, we've got Atomic Habits and then Freedom Friday. The following week, we will not have, of course, Christmas Eve, Freedom Friday, but now everyone, you got your inspiration. Now time to put in the perspiration. If you have any other questions, thank you very much. Great to see you guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Awesome stuff.
Thank you.